Good morning. My name is Erin. I am a pediatric sleep consultant and owner of the Happy Sleep Company. Very excited to be taking over Nano Baby's account today to be talking all things baby and toddler sleep. Yesterday they posted a question box, so you had a chance to ask some questions. I'm going to spend the next couple of hours going through all of those questions and giving you some answers to get your family some better rest. So a little bit about us. I am based in Ottawa, Canada, but my team and I work with families all over the globe to be helping them get better sleep, to be helping their babies and their toddlers get bigger, longer chunks of sleep at night, better naps during the day, and just overall the family getting really healthy rest. You can check us out online. You can swipe up here for our website, and you can head to the Happy Sleep Company on Instagram to get daily sleep tips. And we do offer free 20-minute phone consultations too. So if you want to schedule a free 20-minute phone consultation, you can swipe up here for that. And then you can have a chat with us to get some advice and support. Great question to start with. How can we start off with healthy sleep habits? We're not talking about formal sleep coaching in the newborn stage for sure, but there are some really good ideas that you can put in place in the early days and months to try to start out with healthy sleep for your little one. The best things to focus on are awake times and sleep environment for your newborns. So awake times mean, when we say wake windows or awake times, it means the amount of time your baby can be awake before they need to be sleeping again, before they're getting overtired. So for newborns, that's only around 45 minutes to an hour. So definitely we want to be making sure that once your baby is awake and fed and we've had a diaper change, we're back down for sleep again within 45 minutes to an hour for newborns, because overtired newborns are harder to get to sleep. So if we hit that wake window just right, it's usually easier. And we want to focus on proper room environment, nice and dark, nice and quiet, no distractions, so baby can just get a nice peaceful sleep. I don't recommend families start more formal sleep coaching until after about 14 weeks of age, once baby has fully exited that newborn stage. Then if you are looking at some sleep coaching, you can talk about some different strategies. But we also want to really understand what sleep coaching is. It is a process of teaching your baby how to go into their crib awake and fall asleep using their own sleep skills, instead of using what we refer to as sleep props. So often at some point in your baby's life, often in the first few months, we've developed some sleep props. Feeding to sleep, always rocking to sleep, always needing a pacifier replaced in order to go to sleep or to go back to sleep. And then often once we're out of the newborn stage, parents realize, now baby is waking up so many times at night or will only take really tiny naps and is really reliant on these sleep props in order to get to sleep and in order to get back to sleep. And we're going to need to do some sleep coaching to remove those sleep props in order to teach your baby how to go to sleep independently, so we can also use those independent skills to go back to sleep independently. So that's where we talk about sleep coaching. Remember, not everybody uses sleep coaching techniques. Not every baby needs them. Not every family wants to do more formal sleep coaching. Not every family has an issue with rocking to sleep and feeding to sleep. Some families do that and then their baby can sleep through the night, or their baby wakes up a couple of times and that works for that family. But some families are really struggling with sleep, with many multiple nighttime wake-ups, with really short naps, and some sleep coaching techniques can be a good solution to help your baby sleep bigger chunks. So don't fix what isn't broken, and don't feel like you have to do sleep coaching if that's not something that you feel is in line with what your family wants to do. But know that there are options for sleep coaching if you decide you need to make some changes to your baby's sleep. Some techniques for sleep coaching might be sort of a timed check-in approach, where you leave once your baby is in the crib awake, but you check back on them to offer reassurance if they're upset. Another approach might be like a stay in the room approach, where you're with your baby the whole time until they start to learn to fall asleep independently. The nuances of these approaches are really important. If you're comfortable using a timed check-in approach, how long are you going to leave the room for? How long are you going to come back for? What are you going to do when you come back in the room? What are you not going to do? Because we want to offer reassurance, but we don't want to be overly stimulating, and we don't want to use the sleep props that we're trying to get rid of. If you're using a stay in the room approach, are you going to use that for naps and for nights, or are you going to use a different approach for naps and for nights? And so these are things you want to think about if you're doing sleep coaching. These are the things that we decide on and walk through with families when we work one-on-one with them, but they're also things you want to decide on if you're going to do sleep coaching. Just remember, there are going to be tears involved in sleep coaching, but it doesn't need to be cry it out. You don't need to take an approach where you just leave your baby alone for huge extended periods of time to cry with no support. They need to hear your voice and feel your touch and have a hug if they need a hug. But we also need to understand that that's a big change change for your baby and there is going to be protest, and we want to manage the protest in a way that your child has support and reassurance but learns this new sleep skill at the same time. Most children are ready to drop their nap entirely somewhere between 3 and 4 years of age. So if you are finding that your child is now taking a lot longer to fall asleep for their nap, they're just singing and playing in their crib or their bed, once they do fall asleep, they're taking a short nap. When they don't take a nap, they can still get through to a decent bedtime without seeming incredibly overtired, and your child's over the age of 3, then it's a good sign that they're ready to be done with the nap. If your child is still taking their nap and going to bed easily by 7:30, 8 p.m., then they might not be quite ready, and you could wait for those other signs to occur before dropping it, but usually between 3 and 4 years, we're done napping. The most common reasons that babies have short naps are incorrect awake times and sleep props. So awake times we talked a little bit about, but remember that an overtired baby will generally have a shorter nap. They are stimulated, agitated, overtired, and then they have trouble getting in and staying in a nice, deep, restful sleep. So make sure your baby's not overtired going down for their nap. You can refer back to our awake times guide that I posted a few slides ago, and make sure that your baby, based on their age, is having the proper awake time before their sleeps. The other thing, getting in and staying in a nice, deep, restful sleep. So make sure your baby's not overtired going down for their nap. You can refer back to our awake times guide that I posted a few slides ago, and make sure that your baby, based on their age, is having the proper awake time before their sleeps. The other thing is to avoid sleep props. So we talked a little bit about those being things that get your baby to go to sleep, but then things that also keep your baby from learning how to fall asleep on his own. And if he can't fall to sleep on his own, he also can't fall back to sleep on his own. So after 30 to 45 minutes, your baby's gone through one sleep cycle for that nap. He's in a light stage of sleep and he wakes up, and his sleep prop that put him to sleep in the first place isn't there. He's going to have trouble falling back asleep. So we want to work on some independent sleep skills to extend those naps. I am a fan of letting newborns sleep if they want to sleep. Of course, if your doctor has recommended for some particular health or weight reason that you need to wake your newborn up during the night to feed, you would certainly follow your doctor's advice. But generally, I would let your newborn sleep until they wake and tell you they have to take a few weeks to get that day-night confusion sorted out for newborns. But what I really recommend is that you as parents think about the day in terms of 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. So for example, if you put your baby to bed around 8:30 p.m., the next 12 hours or so is nighttime. So it's dark, it's quiet. When baby wakes up in the night, we go change a diaper, do a feed, but we keep the lights as low as we can. We don't go to a different room to do that. We keep everything really dark and quiet and not super stimulating. Don't have a midnight chat or play session. We want to keep baby understanding that this is nighttime. And then when around 12 hours have gone by, now we treat it like morning time. So now if it's around 7:30, 8:30 in the morning and baby wakes up, instead of treating it like night, we get baby up. We open the blinds, we have lights on, sing a song, have a dance party, and help your baby understand this is morning time. We do 45 minutes to an hour of awake time, and then we put baby down for a nap. Don't let nap be longer than about 2.5 to 3 hours maximum, and then get your baby up for another 45 to 60 minutes of bright, active awake time, so that this is how we help your baby's body clock get on track. We talked about more formal sleep coaching, but that's not till after the newborn stage, after about 14 weeks. And that's where we're talking about, like I said, sometimes check-in approaches, maybe a stay in the room approach. We're expecting some protest. We're going to offer reassurance. When it comes to the newborn stage though, we're not going to be doing any protests. We are going to be really taking more of a, if your baby is crying, pick them up, calm them, try again kind of approach. So if you're really struggling with your baby, your newborn baby, sleeping in their crib, you could certainly try. So try putting them down nice and calm and lulled, but with their eyes open in their crib so they start to become familiar with that, and see what happens. If they're lightly fussing, stand by, see what happens. If they're fussing against a crying, you're going to want to pick your baby up, console them, reassure them, lull them, calm them, put them back down, and try again. And keep doing that as long as you're comfortable with, or until a feed is due, or until you decide this crib nap is just not happening this time. We are just going to go for a walk. We're all going to get some fresh air. We're going to get the day back on track and not stress about the fact that we just needed a carrier nap this time. And head to the Happy Sleep Company on Instagram because I offer sleep tips almost daily on our account. Thanks so much to Nano Baby for having me on today, and I hope everyone has a great and rested day.